Good morning, afternoon, whatever day or time it is. Look at this. We've got three-quarters of a panel where prayers for Brother Billy. He's got a little bit of a head cold and he can't talk, so it's kind of hard to be on the air. Welcome to Rolling with Faith, Hope and the Truth. It's another combination. How is everyone? It's been a while.
It has. Just moving.
Moving. Paula's moving. Brother LD, what's been going on with you?
Just working, trying to find another job, and make moves.
He works for the Lord. He's taking that job slow. I figured one of the things we talk about today, because I know I've been experiencing, because we're all on a different walk. We're all on a walk with the Lord, and one of the things that I've been working on is patience. Waiting on a lot of times when stuff doesn't happen in our timing, it's difficult because we expect stuff now, especially the way that my life has been. I'm used to planning stuff, so it's very difficult for me to not plan, not know my next step. And that was a huge change for me of waiting on the Lord. And it's like, well, Lord, what am I going to do here? And it's all, we see like, let's say, 2 pictures. And there's 24. He sees all 24. And all these 24 things have to align. And we're waiting on these 2. And we're like, well, no, it looks like it makes sense to me. And so it's been something that I've been working on because, you start to see, it's like, oh, Lord, I have to become more patient and trust in you. It's a key thing. There's parts of our life that are being altered. And we have to just say, you know what you're doing. I definitely don't, because when I wasn't listening to you, my life was a catastrophe. It was falling apart. What do you guys think about that?
Patience.
Mm-hmm.
Patience for myself. Anger. I've been having issues with being angry. And we know that he can get us through it. And he's the only one we can call on. We have our friends. We have our family. But it's very difficult for us to not go by our needs and our wants and we got to go by what he wants us to do.
That's what we see it. We see it firsthand where it's like, because again, it's tough for most of our lives. We've been leaning on our understanding. So to shift that, we start seeing, I know in my case, everything falls apart. And the more stuff falls apart, you go, Lord, I can't do this. I absolutely need you, because every time I make a plan, it's like, oh, that was the wrong thing. So I tell people, anything that happens that's great, that's God. Anything that's dumb, that's me. And that's how I can start to tell the difference. And especially in the time, we were talking about this, all the different storms that are going on. People are getting displaced. They're not quite sure their next move. And these are also things that are helping people say, you know what, the Lord's in control, because I have no... what's my next step after this? What about you, LD? Comments?
Well, all I know, I'm just taking one day at a time, but I see a new direction that I'm taking, different path. It's new, I can't say it's original because I've never been here before, but I'm just trusting in God that He'll make a way, and wherever I'm supposed to be, where I'm supposed to be working, where I'm supposed to be living, He'll make it possible. That's all I know.
No, I hear you. That's scary too. I mean, all of us, I think each of us, for our lives, we've been planners. We planned something. I mean, we obviously couldn't plan anything.
It's all written down.
Right? We're like, well, this is going to happen. And then it's tough even now. We realize we're like, well, I thought it was going to go this way. He's like, nope.
Yeah.
It's this way. It's kind of just being able to be fluid with it and understand that even though we think things might happen this way, when a change happens, we go, all right, Lord, you know better than I do. I'm just going to go along. With you. It's. We've got exciting stuff coming up. I know, informing the guys, we're doing stuff for Rebuild Houston. So we are still taking gift cards. I was on Ninon's show, Thank You Vegas Live, this week. And what we're doing with Houston, because we've had people from the ministry affected directly in Texas. Prayers for Brother David. I know that he had a lot of stuff going on there.
Lost his house.
Less than the least of these ministries. A lot of the prisons were affected, so they're having a hard time getting back, but they're, the faith is getting stronger. Sister Carla and some of the other people that we're working with. So we were connected with some of the pastors down there at Life Church, and their point of contact, Stephen, that was helping with the rebuild, and we had talked to them directly of what they needed. And they let us know at the point now they needed gift cards, specifically for rebuilding, because they're in the process of rebuilding. A lot of those people have temporary housing. After 30 days, that goes away. Even the churches couldn't keep on housing them. So Life Church, the specific location in Houston that we were working with, had already fed 5,500 people. They're helping now rehouse 10,000. They're looking at gift cards for Lowe's, gift cards for Home Depot, and then mattress gift cards. Now, on the website, on the ministry site, hopeinthetruth.org, there's a flyer. So people can do one of two things. You do multiple things. You can send the gift cards directly to our mailing address in Las Vegas, and then you can actually put down what you want the gift card used for. We're doing this for the Lord, so there's a high amount of accountability. We're not taking this and doing whatever we want. Or these cards can be sent directly down to Life Church. They want clarification of what you'd like it used for, meaning sheetrock, cleaning supplies. And there are businesses that were not affected. They are getting in more supplies. They also have a blueprint that they're sending over to Florida. Keep in mind, as the news goes out of these places, don't forget this. That's what I see happening a lot when you talk to people. They're already off of Harvey. They're worrying about the iPhone 10. Stop that. People in Houston don't have places to live. Everything's not fine just because there's no longer news coverage on it. They need your assistance still. Most of these places, FEMA and Red Cross, whatever job they're doing, once they're called to another location, they can only do so much at one time. Upcoming storms, and it looks like based on NAV, the Navy model of tracking Jose, it's going to East Coast, more specifically Cape Hatteras, New York, New Jersey. So again, don't think these storms have stopped. And most people, I think, are going to get that opportunity to help their neighbor, in truth. Anything that you guys have to feed into the storms that are coming, people that were affected, things that they said that they need. You don't have to give any personal information, but items that are needed, your feelings about it.
It's pretty much simple stuff, like they need water.
Yeah.
Just to drink, water to drink and maybe some changing underwears and socks and just, toothbrush, soap, deodorant.
The basic necessities.
The basic necessities.
And
Just because you out there and you don't have a place, to go, you don't want to be out stinking and stuff. I'm just saying.
No, it's true. Well, it's something we take for granted. We have stuff each day,
Right.
and then we start to say, well, wait a minute, when we lose, socks, underwear, things like this that, what you have in your house. When you lose your house, you've lost all your stuff. And a lot of people, they don't have the ability to rebuild. They don't have 401ks and these bank accounts that they're going to turn back to. Some people do, others don't. And so this is why we're relying on our neighbors. And there's a lot of people I know. I heard an interview where a man had lost everything and he was actually grateful. He goes, I didn't realize how I'd become a slave to my stuff. And he was happy that he woke up. And, the good thing about the storms is people are coming together. They are. I know a lot of people. We know a crew from Vegas that went down there. Some people quit their jobs to go help their brothers and sisters out. And this is what we're going to see is what we need. We need to come together as a community, as a whole, rather than just relying on, well, someone else will do that. No, someone else isn't going to do it. And as more and more places are getting affected with stuff, you're going to start to see kind of the burden. And it's not a burden, but the responsibility is ours. The way that we reach out when someone's lost something is the way that the mercy that we expect when something happens to us. That's when we can relate. If we go through a bad time, it's interesting the comfort or the illusion that money provides. And then you see just how quickly when the money goes away, you go, wait a minute, I don't have that comfort anymore. What am I going to do the next point?
Mm-hmm.
You have each
Let's
other.
love and hate.
Yeah.
Let's love and not hate.
Right.
No. And that's the key thing, I think. And that was the thing we started seeing, racism was they were trying to push that a lot. You see an agenda. But once the storm happened, people didn't care. You're getting pulled out of the water by someone you might have thought was different. You're just happy that a helping hand came down and came out. And you saw this,
Right.
People reaching across the color barrier, which is, again, people, we have to wake up and stop letting the world divide us. What it's been doing is compartmentalizing race, sex. And so people are like, well, I can't talk to you because you're a woman. You see a rebirth of something where it's very easy to control a population if you segment them. Isn't it interesting? So if you segment by race alone and you say, well, the blacks can't talk to the whites, you've already created a divide. When a storm happens, what happens? People are like, no, I need to help my brother. Oh, that's nonsense. These people are trying to help me. These are the things we can't fall for. That's brainwashing on a larger scale in media. So we've got to be smarter and look in our community and see how we can help each other and stop listening to television and what they're telling you is important. That stuff's not important. Anything you want to add, sir? We're on a tangent because
we just gotta keep praying because it's happened back to back. It's never happened like that in history. So y'all should just open your eyes and just use common sense that something has happened in this world. I can't say it's coming to an end, but it's so about to shake it up real quick.
And God said He'd shake the heavens and the earth,
The earth.
not just
Yeah.
the earth, the heavens. And if you notice something, whenever someone wants to misconstrue or think about what these storms are, they're a warning. They're a wake-up. And every time mankind thinks they understand something, they said, what, Harvey was a 1,000-year storm, and a week later, there's Irma. Well, I guess they were wrong. They can't even predict accurately the direction, because what happened? It was going this way, then it's this way. And again, if we're relying on our common sense, it's not so common when we start to see these things, because there's things that are happening, even from the people that I spoke with in the body of Christ, that they're much more adept at understanding storms than I am, because that's not my department. They'll tell you the severity of the storm sitting at sea, meaning Irma, should have burned itself out. By all of their logic, it shouldn't have kept on going. Even Hosea, it's like it's going in circles. It's like it's waiting. It's like it's waiting for something. It's so strange. So we can soberly look in the world and actually see, and we had talked about this too before, it's not normal when you have a hurricane. The winds destroyed, parts of, by the way, Corpus Christi means body of Christ. That's where it went. And then you have inland flood damage that people said was impossible. Well, nothing's impossible. Then you had an 8-point-something earthquake in Mexico. Then you had 3 hurricanes converge together. Now you have 3 other hurricanes, not just one, 3 other ones. And you have wildfires. So as LD said, we are in a different time. Don't be distracted because a new movie's coming out and saying, well, it's like a bad dream, I'll avoid it. Because we can only avoid something for so long and it's going to come up and smack you in the face.
We just got to look to him. We got to look to him first before we look to anything else.
You still do your daily, still go to work and everything,
Right.
but just start treating people a little different and getting your house in order.
Absolutely.
Getting yourself right with
Yes.
the Lord.
Yeah.
That sums it up. Get yourself right with the Lord.
Yeah.
Again, you're not going to worry about stuff, right? Trust his yoke is light. If you're thinking that you can understand this and your money and your supplies are going to help if trouble comes to wherever you live, I'll tell you right now, there's plenty of people that were, preppers that lost their prepping supplies in the flooding. What do you do then? So again, when we can say, Lord, you're in control, I know you're going to guide me with the small things. When the bigger things come, we are prepared. That's what it means by spiritual preparedness, not just like, well, I've got supplies for 10 years, I'll be fine. It doesn't work that way. What are the new things that you have coming up, Sister Paula? Anything exciting and new that you want to talk about? While we're together?
Not yet. I'm going to try getting back into the salt room
Okay.
for the Chiari Neurological Project. Oh my gosh, I forget the art. I'm going to talk to...
Art in the Park. No, I know, with Roz.
With Roz, yes. Trying to get that up, but I'm just trying to get into this house
I know.
and out of the other one.
And moving stuff. How about you, sir? Any plans,
Well,
traveling?
Trying to do something with my church, Victory Baptist Church. It's on D.M. Monroe, Pastor Fowler. Just trying to, try to bring some sense to all this madness that is going on. Just share my testimony. What God brought me through, He can actually bring you through. So I'm.
What are you speaking? Do you know when you're speaking to the small group?
Yeah, well, right now it's not a main congregation. It's just like, but it's still a big congregation, like on Bible study night and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just going in there, just telling them what I've been through and what God brought me through. So y'all just hold on because I'm 47 and I never thought I'd even make 20. But been here 27 years later.
Lord knows what He's doing.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing for you guys. If you have a testimony, don't think even telling one person. That's why you have a testimony. It's not for you.
Right.
It's to help someone else. That's why you've gone, right? If you went through stuff and it's to benefit one other person, wasn't it worth it?
Absolutely. Because
That's when we
there's so
start
many
seeing
people
stuff.
out there that are still hopeless.
Yeah.
And they get these medical conditions that they get diagnosed with and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then that's when they see me and they're like, well, your composure is pretty great. And for you to have 2 brain surgeries, and I'm like, because the Lord gets me through day by day.
Yeah, that's what it is. People think I'm a wackadoo. What does that have to do with me? Again, I'm here to give a message. We're all here to give a message. It's not my message. Again, when a person realizes, we take this stuff for granted, that they can go directly before the throne and talk to God. You can have a direct relationship with God. You don't need any of us to do this. You can do this yourself. It's an eye-opening experience. And people say, you know what, I never thought of turning to the Lord. And I go, what do you have to lose? If anything, you have everything to gain. Your whole life starts to shift and make sense. But if you haven't been told that, you're going to keep on running into a wall. And that's the key thing. We're in a time now, don't follow man. You have to follow Christ. That's the key thing. Don't think it's a complicated process you have to go through and fill out paperwork and do this and dance around. No, it's not this. Call on Jesus. Trust in Him. Pursue truth while there's time. He's knocking at the door. You just need to open it. That's the key thing. He didn't tell us, no, I'll meet you down the road. It says, I knock, open the door.
Right.
That's the best advice I can give. Anything else you want to add before we let them go?
Just
No.
continue to, praise God, try to treat each other right and stop, passing on hatred. Just try to be positive.
And if you need anybody to talk to, go to the Lord first, or if you feel that you need somebody else, you guys can always contact one of us
Yes.
or,
No, yeah, the Lord
a
first and then
pastor
us.
at your church
Yeah.
or somebody.
Yeah. You can contact us, any of us, because I don't give out their numbers, but we will. HopeandTheTruth.org. That's the ministry site. Again, we're also with Armor of God Ministry, and they do services on Sunday. Pastor Raimundo, he's great. It's a welcoming place. Everyone's welcome, right? It's not a place where they look at you like, you can't come in, you're not dressed right. I go there in flip-flops, all right? So, if you have any questions,
Come
we're wishing
as
you a
you
blessing.
are.
Come as you are. Jesus accepted everyone. He didn't come with preconceived notions saying, I can
Absolutely.
only look at you. So, until next time, wishing you guys a blessed week. We'll see you. Bye from Rolling with Faith and hoping that you like it. Bye. All right, we'll see you guys next time. God bless.